This video is going to be unlike anything I've ever made before. Nebraska is going into a huge game against Wisconsin this Saturday, 5-5, bowl game eligibility on the line, Big Ten West is still on the line. I have no notes in front of me, nothing prepared. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I don't know what we'll get to, but I'm just going to speak from the heart. What needs to be said about this game, what needs to be said about Nebraska football this year. Let's just get into it. Without further ado. This is a prove-it game for Matt Rhule, and I feel like I'm saying that a lot. But he can't just stop doing this to the fan base, where he loses a bunch of games in a row, whether that's Minnesota, Colorado, and the fan base is guessing him and saying, is this really the guy? Like, we're in a bad rut right now. Or is he going to go back to, winning games in a row? It might not be pretty, but finding ways to win them and taking advantage of, teams that we shouldn't lose to, like in Illinois, like in Northwestern, like in Purdue. And it feels like we're just switching it every single week. We don't know what to commit to because he hasn't really shown us. We haven't beat a quality team all year. The best team we've beat all year has been, let's call it Northwestern. That's the best team we beat all year. That's not great. This is a prove-it game. Wisconsin's just not very good. They're not. They lost Northwestern. They lost to Indiana, arguably the worst team in the Big Ten. This is a prove-it game. Okay, I'm tired of reevaluating Matt Rhule every single week. Like, I want to be committed to how I feel about him, and I think the entire fan base feels that way. Okay, I applaud Matt Rhule for taking advantage of the teams that we should beat. This is another team we should beat. And this game means more because we're playing Luke Fickell right now, and I know a lot of people haven't taken this angle to this game. Luke Fickell, we had the opportunity to hire Luke Fickell, and we decided no, we're sticking with our guy. Number one on our list was Matt Rhule, and we got him. We chose Matt Rhule over Luke Fickell. And I'm going to give you the same spiel I gave when we played Deion Sanders. Matt Rhule needs to go out there and prove to us that he was the right candidate for the job. Because Wisconsin's in a very similar situation. Again, they're 5-5. They're in the same position in the Big Ten West. They've lost games they should have lost. They have a bunch of injuries. They're in the exact same situation we are. Truly, whoever wins this football game will be the better coached team. And I'm tired of feeling this way about Matt Rhule where I don't know what he is. Okay? Because I was outstandingly impressed with Matt Rhule with that 3-game winning streak. And in the last 2 weeks against Michigan State and Maryland, he looked like Scott Frost on the sideline. The way he lost those games were only reminiscent of Scott Frost. You had 3 quarterbacks throwing a pick. You were throwing terrible play calls in the end zone on a 3rd down and long, where you could have took the points. The game was not a high-scoring affair. You just find ways to lose ball games. And what's funny is Michigan State and Maryland both tried to give us the ball game as well. But we didn't want it as bad as they did. So I'm just tired of feeling this way about Matt Rhule. We need to stand up. And these players, man, and that's my little spiel about Matt Rhule. Let's just go to the team as a whole. These players have got to want it. Like, seriously. They've got to want this. This is huge. It was so nice when we were sitting at 5-3, and we're looking at the next 4 games and saying, you know what? We just need to win 1 out of our next 3. And it felt so good. And now we're sitting here with 2 games left saying, oh, my goodness, we have to win 1 of these next 2. It's not going to be easy, guys. Like, these guys have got to want it. Chubba Purdy, I've been calling him to start since, week 3 or week 4? He's probably going to get that opportunity on Saturday. Play like you want it. Okay? You're getting an opportunity. Okay? He needs to go out there and play like it. Emmett Johnson, you're getting an opportunity at running back. Anthony Grant, you're getting an opportunity at running back every time you touch the football. These freshman wide receivers, Malachi Coleman, Jalen Lloyd, man, they've got to step up more. Like, they're both talented. But, man, like, the only times we've seen them this year have been on that option pass. I think Malachi Coleman has 2 catches on the year, and again, his 1 touchdown pass was on that trick play, basically, right? Same thing with Jalen Lloyd. Like, these guys are too talented. They got to get involved. Man, like, play like you want to win. Play like you have something at stake. This is huge. And Matt Rhule keeps talking about, playing and learning how to win. I felt like we've learned how to win by now. Let's stop using that excuse. It's time to go out there and do it. This game's big, man. We haven't beat Wisconsin in years and years. Since 2011, we haven't beat them. Okay, this is personal. We owe it to our fan base to get this win. We owe it to the kids out there who have never lived to see their team in a bowl game. There are kids born in 2017, 2016 who are 6, 7 years old who have never watched their team play in a bowl game. There are kids like me who was a senior in high school, and I haven't watched us play in a bowl game since I was a fourth grader. That's ridiculous. That's why this game means more, man. And I really do not want to go into Iowa in Memorial Stadium, sitting in my section, clenching my butt cheeks, feeling like, my goodness, everything's on the line. And I know there's some speculation that we still might make a bowl game if we're 5-7. I don't want to do any of that. That's losers talk. That means you lost 4 in a row. That's losers talk. I don't want to settle. Okay, you have a winnable game in front of us. This is not Ohio State. This is not Michigan. This is not Penn State. Okay? Heck, this isn't even Rutgers. Okay, Wisconsin's not good. And they have a brand new head coach. And this is a proven game on national television, man. Like, play like, I don't really know what else to say, guys. I get it. We've been hit with the most adversity we have had in almost any of our seasons, right? We've had quarterbacks go down. Jeff Sims went down. Heinrich Haarberg is down right now. Our 2 best running backs are out for the year. 2 of our 3 best wide receivers are out for the year. The other one has been banged up. Our O-line's been banged up. Our tight end position's been banged up. Okay? It's not been easy. And our offensive coordinator is being called for its head right now, right? We've been hit with adversity. It's time to go out there and prove it, guys. And say, hey, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what's going through because I'm still Matt Rhule. We're still the University of Nebraska. And this is what matters. And we're going to go send our team to a bowl game, which we haven't been in 5, 6, 7 years. Like, I'm fired up, guys. Like, that's what I need the team to be fired up, man. This means more, man. This means more. I don't know where this is going. I don't want to be sitting here with a 4-game losing streak. Okay? Because this means more. This is more than just a game. This is more than just a season. You know what this means? If you make a bowl game, and let's say you even win that bowl game, you end 7-6, assuming we lose to Iowa. Okay? 7-6 in Matt Rhule's first year, inheriting a dumpster program. Do you know what that does to you on the recruiting sphere? Do you know what that does to you for national attention? And I know a lot of fans will say, oh, I don't care about national attention. I like to work in the shadows, and then once we're good, people will find out the hard way. Like, I don't like any of that. Like, Rex Ryan said it best, right? The best place to be is when expectations are high, when people expect something of you, and when people expect you to come into their house and to come into their stadium and figuratively, excuse my language, whoop their ass, right? That is where the stakes are. And that's when your team really shows who they are as a team, right? As a group of young men. So get used to it. And that's where it should be right now. So if we were to make a bowl game, it's more than just a season. It's more than just feeling good as a fan base. It's more than just feeling good as a program. This will escalate you, okay? This will look good on a national sphere. It'll look good for the recruits. This is so big in Matt Rhule's first year. Just the thought of losing 4 in a row and losing an opportunity to go bowling and change this program, it is mind-boggling. And it hurts me so bad because I just remember Scott Frost in 2019. And so hyped up year. We were ranked going into that year. We had game day come, and we were 5-6 going into Iowa, and we lost, and that ruined the Scott Frost tenure. We lost recruits because of that. Recruiting was never the same. Our national attention was never the same, and it was over. That was over, right? When Keith Duncan hit that field goal, walk-off style, it was over for us in that tenure. And I know it's year one, and I don't want to feel like that's, this bowl game is life or death, but it kind of is in the new sphere of college football. We saw Jimbo Fisher just get fired for an $84 million buyout. Okay, teams aren't settling. Teams don't settle for less anymore. It's all about money. They're making that money anyways with the new college football, right? It's about winning now. No more leniency. That gets me to my third point. And this is a message to Marcus Sattefield. You're playing for your job. And I know Matt Rhule, one thing that really, really frustrated me, and I made a rant video that did pretty okay, I think week 3, that I was mad about something that Matt Rhule was saying in press conferences. And he's been fine in press conferences up until now. But he went there on Monday and said that he was not going to make a change at OC no matter what. And he was like, oh, what good has that ever done? What good has that ever done? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What good has that ever done? And Husker faithful were responding in bunches. They're like, hey, we don't have to look very far. Last year, when we fired Eric Shenander and hired Bill Bush and put him at defensive coordinator, and our defense was automatically better in a span of weeks. And when you asked Mickey Joseph about it, Mickey was like, yeah, it was because we changed our defense coordinator. Not simple, you know. I mean, it's not hard. So that was a lazy response. Lazy response from Matt Rhule. Okay, and I get it. I think Marcus Satterfield could still work here. I get it. The cards have not been great. The injuries have not been great. But this level of incompetency is of nothing we've ever seen before in the University of Nebraska. Okay, I don't care about injuries. You can still put together a formidable offense with the level of talent we have. We still have talent, man. We have 4 stars at wide receiver still playing. We have a 4-star Joe Purdy playing at quarterback right now. Okay, we have the state of Minnesota Football Player of the Year at running back right now, along with a 4-star JUCO and Anthony Grant. There is talent still on this team, right? It's not like we're playing a bunch of walk-ons. Okay, we're incompetent. Let's just say it out loud. So this is a wake-up call to Marcus Satterfield and Matt Rhule, because money gets repaid pretty quickly, okay? And I get everyone looking at his salary, it's $1 million, whatever, right? I don't care about the buyout. Nebraska has historically never cared about the buyout of an offensive coordinator, nonetheless. Are you kidding me? Okay? These are resume games, right? You put these 2 games on your resume, and then we're going to reassess you at the end of the year whether you should stay or not. I hated that response from Matt Rhule, man. It's terrible. You can't make excuses for this. What good has that ever done? That was a terrible response. You don't have to look very far, man. Let's look at Dave Aranda. I originally wanted Dave Aranda to be the coach of Nebraska. That was a bad take by me now, looking back on it, but hindsight's 2020. Anyways, he fired his offensive coordinator after his first year. His first year was awful. Then won the Big 12 championship the next year, right? Like, there are so many examples of firing an offensive coordinator after year 1 or year 2 and then finding instant success. It's not even funny. And I get it. He's supporting his buddy. This is the one thing I hate. I hated about Matt Rhule when he got here. One of the very few things I hated was I stressed, get the best staff money could buy. And he comes here and gets his buddy to be the offensive coordinator, who was with him at Baylor, who wasn't very good at South Carolina. Resume-wise, he should not have been hired. And then he went on to hire Garrett McGuire, who has never had real coaching experience. Then he went on to hire Terrence Knighton, who never had real coaching experience. Blah, 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 right? I say this because the hiring process just wasn't good. In order for you to put a bunch of stock in a guy who really hasn't proved he deserves his job, he needs to go out there and shut us up as critics. And he has yet to do that. He's done just the opposite. And again, I knew it was a bad sign when South Carolina fans were celebrating him leaving. Absolutely celebrating it. That's never a good sign, guys. Like, hindsight's 2020, but when they're sitting there saying, thank you for taking this guy off my hands, like, maybe we should sit there and be like, hey, maybe this guy, we need to background check him a little better, right? So, Marcus Satterfield, man, go out there, and I don't want to see any of this bull crap passing 3 times in a row. We're not a passing football team. I don't care that Joe Purdy's going to be quarterback 1 going into this game. Run the dang ball, man. Stop with the turnovers. Okay? And a lot of these turnovers are due to the incompetency on the offense coordinator spot. Okay? That Joe Purdy pick was not his fault at the end of that game. It was not his fault, man. It really wasn't. There's incompetency with play calling, just with who's starting every game. Again, I believe that Heinrich Haarberg should not have started the last 2 weeks with the way he's been playing. I told you for weeks and weeks and weeks, even when we were winning, I said Matt Rhule and Marcus Satterfield will continue to start Heinrich Haarberg until they learn the hard way. They've learned the hard way. Man, just coach like your job is on the line because it should be. I don't know, man. This is such a big game. I'm fired up, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know you guys if we're going to get it done. Man, I hate to say it, but I don't think we get it done, man. I hate to say it. I hate to say it. It'll be a close game. It's almost too predictable at this point, guys. Like, Nebraska football is too predictable. We'll play a good game, or not a good game. We'll play a close game up until the 3rd, 4th quarter. We might lead every now and then, we probably won't be up more than 10 points at a time. Then Wisconsin will inch their way back in the game, get a touchdown and cut down to 1 score. We'll have a turnover. Boom, Wisconsin goes down, scores again. Then by that time, the momentum's flipped and it seems like the game's over. I hate to say that, man. I hate to say it, man, but it's just, man, it's such a big game. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, Nebraska. This is so big. Everything's online. I don't want to go into Iowa feeling this feeling of just everything is depending on the outcome of this game. So, again, let me know what you think. If you have us winning, anything I didn't mention. As always, appreciate everyone who watched these videos. Please hit like the video, really help. Like on the video, it really helps me out. And along with hitting the subscribe button, that's huge. That's huge, man. So, again, appreciate everybody all year long for Nebraska football, and we'll see you in the next one.